How do you build a watch list for potential stocks to trade? Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. B with Ready, Set, Grow. On this channel, my goal is to share tips to help you on your financial and trading journey. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below saying you subscribe for a chance to enter our next giveaway. Also check the description for some valuable resources. It has been a few months since I posted new content. I've been very busy in my Discord server, building my website, different business ventures, and I've also traveled a lot. I've traded in over 10 countries in 7 months, so I've been really busy. But anyways, I'm going to talk about scanning for stocks that are in a squeeze pre-market so that I can build a watch list for potential stocks to trade. We are in my Thinkorswim account. I'm going to scan for stocks that have at least a 5-dot squeeze on the Squeeze Pro. I also filter average true range, so I'm looking for stocks that move at least $1.50 to $2 minimum daily. I like to scan on the larger time frames first. So I'm going to run the scan on the weekly time frame. Here are the scan results of the Squeeze Pro 5-dot squeeze scan. If you don't already have a Squeeze Pro scan, you can head over to the website optionsqueen.org and pick up this scan. It's called the 5-dot squeeze pro scan. I use it every morning to find stocks to trade. What you see at the bottom of my scan is the Squeeze Pro watch list columns. I added them to the bottom of my scan so that I can see them without leaving this screen. This information shows me how many dots is in a squeeze, what kind of squeeze it is, if it has fired or not. These are the histogram columns. I have them on multiple time frames, and this just lets me know what direction or the momentum in the stock. Lastly, I have the stacked EMA watchlist columns, and that lets me know whether they're stacked or not. These are all customized scripts that I just moved over to my scans so that's easier for me to see. If you don't have these scripts or you cannot find these scripts, you can go ahead and purchase them on my website. Now I go through each stock and see if it meets the criteria for a potential trade. And what I'm looking for is a stock that has at least a 5-dot squeeze on any time frame. I prefer the larger time frames. I'm looking for the histograms to indicate a specific direction, and I want them all to be aligned. And then I'm looking for the EMAs to all be stacked on all time frames. And I can get this information by quickly just looking right here without having to even go to the charts yet. For example, BDX is one of the results of a potential trade. It has a weekly squeeze with 57 dots. It has a daily squeeze of 53 dots, a 10-dot squeeze, a 16-dot squeeze, and it also fired long on the 1 hour. Then I go to the histograms to determine, well, are these all telling me the same information? And they are not. I see that it is cyan, which means it's bullish on these smaller time frames, but on the daily time frame, it's a little bit weaker. And on the weekly time frame, I can see that selling has stopped, so that's a bullish indication, but I don't like that it's dark blue here. I also see that it has stacked EMAs on all time frames. So I could add this ticker as a potential item to watch. We all know this information is going to change once the market opens. So I would be watching to see if this histogram color changes to cyan. I basically go through this list and seeing which stock has all alignment. And going through this list, I don't see anything that does. For example, this ticker here, TXN, has multiple squeezes. It has fire short already. All the histograms are red, which means it's heavy selling occurring. That's bearish. But the one thing I don't like is that it doesn't have a stacked EMA on the weekly, but it is stacked on the smaller time frames. So I would then add this to the watch list and wait to see if at open, the weekly EMA becomes stacked. When I'm done selecting possible things to watch on the weekly time frame, I start scanning on a smaller time frame. So then I go to the daily time frame. These are the results of tickers that are in a squeeze for at least 5 dots on the Squeeze Pro on the daily time frame. And with a very quick glance, I can tell that I don't have any tickers to potentially watch from the daily time frame because I don't see things that align. Look at all the histograms, they're all over the place. I don't see where all the colors indicate a specific direction. So there's nothing for me to pick from this time frame. So then I go ahead to the next time frame. On this time frame, I see that DG is something that has most alignment. It has a 10-dot squeeze on the weekly. It already fired long on the daily, and it has a 13-dot squeeze on the 2 hour, fired long on the 1 hour. So that lets me know that DG could potentially move a bit higher depending on market conditions, of course. I go over to the histograms. I see that the histogram cyan means it's bullish, and this dark blue is weak bullish. So a signal for me to enter this trade later on is if all of this holds and this weak bullish turns to cyan, which would be strong bullish. It also has the EMAs all stacked. So that's definitely something I would keep an eye on. Okay, so I have gone through all of the time frames, and for my watch list today, I'm going to be watching BDX, TXN, and DG. Those are going to be the 3 tickers that I add to my watch list today. Remember, the conditions I'm looking for is a stock to be in at least a 5-dot squeeze, any compression on the Squeeze Pro. I look to see that the histograms all align. So if I'm bullish on a ticker, I'm looking for the histogram to be all cyan or yellow in cyan. And if I'm bearish on the ticker, then I'm looking for the histogram to be dark blue and red, or just all red, or all dark blue. Those are all signs of a weakening momentum. Lastly, I'm looking for the ticker to have stacked EMAs on all time frames. Some questions I get about building my watch list. One is, do you use extended hours on or off? No extended hours. Another common question I get about building my watch list is, does everything have to align on every time frame? For me, yes. Doesn't mean that the trade won't work out if everything doesn't align, but I just prefer that everything aligns. It all points to one direction for a higher probability trade. I've seen a question in my YouTube comments is, do you look at the charts? Did you see me look at any charts right now? All of the information I need is right here in my watch list, so I don't need to go and look at the charts right now until I'm getting ready to take a position. Then I will go look at the charts, but I don't look at the charts while I'm just scanning for potential trades. Can this scan be used with the regular squeeze? Yes, you can scan for stocks that are in a 5-dot squeeze on the regular TTM squeeze. So this type of scan will work for building a watch list on the Squeeze Pro and the regular squeeze. Are there other scans that you run pre-market to help you build your watch list? Yes, I actually run several scans pre-market. So not only do I look at my 5-dot squeeze scans, but then I also look at histogram scans, so the yellow to cyan histogram, or I might even look at a blue to red histogram scan. We are in my Discord server. This is where I will post a watch list, and I normally just add the ticker information, how many dot squeezes is it in, if it has stacked EMAs, if they're all in the same direction. And here's where I would add the note to myself for something to keep an eye out for. For example, the histogram is weak on the daily. So if I'm looking at this to trade once market opens, I know to keep an eye on the weak histogram on the daily and see if it changes to strong bullish. If you're looking for an active trading community, definitely check out our Discord server. I'm going to leave the link in the description box. If you have any questions about any of the scans that I've used, go ahead and leave me a comment. I'll try my best to get back to you. You can head over to the website for any of the custom scans I used today. That will also be linked in the description. Thank you for watching. See you next time.